hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful week. And even if you're not, that's okay too. Hopefully, I can bring you some peace, some comfort. I'm actually here to be good for you this week. I guess I'm always good for you, but this time it's a little bit of a self-help podcast. I'm here to help you build the life you want to build and help you get what you want to get. So this topic was actually requested by the little bunnies over on Patreon, and they said, "Daddy, can you do a podcast episode on confidence?" And I said, wow, I am an excellent person to talk about confidence, not just because I am confident, but because I have confidence now, and I did not always have confidence. I suppose there are some people that just have this natural personality that they can go into any circumstance and they are just their absolute most confident, self-assured self. But that's not me, and I am in a place of confidence, but it's a confidence that has been developed. And when this topic was requested, I did some thinking about how is it that I actually got here? And I think I have some really, really good stuff to share. So as always, we'll start with a quote and then we'll end with a poem that I write just for you. So our quote today comes from the world of musical theater. This is from a song from the movie of The Sound of Music. If you haven't seen The Sound of Music, I highly, highly recommend it. So in this quote, we're early on, and our main character is greeted with the possibility of adventure for the first time. "I've always longed for adventure, to do the things I'd never dared. Now here I'm facing adventure. Then why am I so scared?" And then immediately after, she proceeds to sing about the confidence she has in herself. And that's the name of the song, "I Have Confidence in Me." So Rodgers and Hammerstein are playing with the contrast between these two emotions of confidence and fear. And it definitely is true that there's an opposite quality to this. But as I was doing my journaling, preparing for this episode, I really, really, really reflected on the confidence I've experienced and developed in my life. And I really do believe, at least for me and presumably for you too, it's something that you develop. I don't believe that confidence is simply the absence of fear. The way you achieve this confidence is not by fighting this fear away, by thinking it into a corner, by boosting yourself up, by saying things in the mirror to pump yourself up. Maybe that kind of works, I don't know, but that's not real confidence. That's not sustainable. I want to tell you in this episode the actual, literal steps that you can take to develop this confidence. So the first thing you have to do, I've been saying the word develop, and you might be going, "Oh no, Lindy, I don't actually want to work for this. I just want you to do a little hypnosis and snap your fingers like you can do." Well, maybe I can do a little pep talk at the end if I remember. But if you really, really want to be confident, I want you to take this moment to really commit to it. It's going to be something you develop. However, I can guarantee that it's there waiting for you, and I can tell you the steps. So why don't you take a breath with me? And if you want to start this journey with me to help build your confidence, then keep listening, and I'll tell you how to do it. Okay, here we go. Okay, then. Are you ready to develop some confidence? Do you video games, little bunny? Have you ever played a game that has a so-called talent tree? If you don't know what that is, imagine you have a spell book and let's say 3 of these spells in your book, 3 of many that are in there. You can level up these 3 spells. We'll call them talents. And as these talents get stronger and stronger and stronger, when all 3 of them have been maxed out, you have access to learn a new spell. Imagine you have this row of 3s and it's getting boosted and boosted and boosted. And then they all form and they come together and there's this wonderful, special, powerful spell that you get once you max out these 3 talents. Well, this is how confidence is developed, little bunny. The special spell at the end is your confidence, and we're going to level up the 3 talents we need to unlock it. So, first, we need to pick a context for our confidence. What is the setting you want to be confident in? Let me use a very basic, easy example to start with. Let's imagine you want to feel confident at the gym. If you're like me and if you're like everybody else, this is one of the easiest places to not feel confident, especially if your only experience with the gym has been younger days in school, like middle school aged, which is just a terrible, terrible experience. So let's imagine that you're in a chapter of your life where you are deciding to go to the gym for your own personal reasons. And let's say you get as far as getting there. You've signed up for the membership or you're doing the free trial. And you're proud of yourself for getting there, but man, do you feel self-conscious and out of place, and your confidence is just not there, and you really, really wish you had this confidence because you really are trying to get the gym into your life, but man, it just feels awful to be here right now. So, 3 talents. I want you to guess what the first one is, little bunny. It is familiarity. So when you first get to the gym, you are not familiar with anything. You've never been in this building before. You don't know the name of the person or the face of the person who checks you in. You don't know where any of the stuff is. You're looking around. You don't even know what these machines do. And there's all these stations with these crazy contraptions. And it's like, what the hell do people do with these things? How do they even know how to do this? You're looking around at the other people. You don't know what kind of people they are. What are they doing? What are they thinking about you? There's all these kinds of things that stem from a lack of familiarity with the space. So, how do we boost our familiarity with the space, little bunny? It's just by going again and again and again. You get it in your schedule, in your routine. You're going however often it is, 3 days a week maybe. And you go and you go and you go. And each time you become a little more comfortable with just being there. It's a very subconscious thing that happens. You begin to recognize the person who checks you in. You even smile at them. They smile back. You kind of know where the different spots are. You don't know how everything works in the gym, but you know, okay, I know what this thing is. I know what that thing is. You feel more at home a little bit, and you don't feel like a visitor. And maybe you're realizing that other people aren't really paying attention to you that much, or you just don't care as much because it's your turf. And going and going and going again, this is the first reason why confidence has to be developed. You can't just think yourself into being familiar with this context, this setting where you're trying to have confidence. So the first one is familiarity. The second one, little bunny, is competence. What is competence, little bunny? It's being good enough at something. It's about knowing what you're doing, at least well enough that you don't have to think about it while you're doing it. You're not trying to figure out what the heck it is that you're doing while you're doing it. So in the gym, what is competence? Well, you've found these machines and these stations with the dumbbells and the this and the that and the ropes. Little by little, you're going to learn the exercises that you need to do, and not just learn what they are, but to learn how to do them enough that you kind of feel like you know what you're doing. And you might ask, how do you do that? Well, little bunny, just pull out your phone, YouTube, gym basic exercises, and you'll find the machines and things like that. It can be very intimidating at first. You sit down in a machine and there's like a sticker with a person that's doing some kind of motion, and you do it and you're like, is this right? How much weight am I supposed to be doing? How many times do I do this? Am I supposed to do it quick? Am I supposed to do it slow? All of these kind of questions that are floating around in your mind, these are preventing you from being confident because you don't have the competence. You don't really know what you're doing. And hey, guess what? Nobody knows what they're doing when they start out. So just some YouTube videos. You don't have to become an expert. You just have to know what you're doing enough that you don't have to worry about what you're doing. When I was in a period of my life where I was making big changes to take back my life and build the life that I wanted, I hired a trainer for just a few sessions to learn exactly that. I wanted him to teach me the fundamentals of the exercises so that I could have some competence as I worked out in the gym. And eventually that competence, along with the other two talents, leads you to confidence in that context. So what is the first one, little bunny? Do you remember? Familiarity. The second, competence. Now the third one, I'm going to tell you a story about this personal trainer. This is a little secret that he shared with me. So we had our first day. I was working with him in kind of a typical masculine motivation. We were working on weightlifting. And he said at the end of the session, congratulations, you've done your first day of lifting. Today is the day you are forever small. And I kind of chuckled at it. But I realized what he means is that people who are like him, who really, really, really love bodybuilding and lifting, and the kind of people that he works with, these people are really, really working towards a goal. They're working to be someone that they aren't in the present. These people want to be big, muscular people. And that's the secret, is that they always see themselves as being not big enough, not muscular enough. They are missing the confidence. These people who really, really live in the gym, it's their main thing that they do is the bodybuilding. There's a surprising lack of confidence in it. And I don't mean to disparage these people at all, but it goes to show you that even these people that have the familiarity and they have the competence, they might not have the confidence because they're missing this third talent. Not a talent like some natural thing you have, but this third spell that once we level it up all the way, just as high as our familiarity and our competence, then we will unlock confidence. What is the third talent, little bunny? You need to be who you want to be. These people, the bodybuilders, for instance, they are wanting to be someone that they're not. They want to be this idealized, larger version of themselves. And as soon as they get there, the goalpost moves and they need to be bigger. And then they get there and they drink all their protein and they eat all their protein. They eat a whole chicken and they pump iron for however many days and however many pounds, however many hours, and they get bigger and they achieve the goal, but then the goal is further away. They're never who they want to be, and that's why they're missing the confidence, little bunny. So how is it that I ended up finding confidence in the gym, despite the fact that these people are so much more skilled and so much more accomplished in, I guess, the metric of how many pounds they can lift or what their body fat percentage is? The reason is that I go to the gym to take care of my health, both my physical and my mental health. And that's it. These days when I do my exercise classes, I have a lot of confidence in there because it's a fitness studio where I know all the teachers and the trainers. I know them by name. We smile, we chit-chat. So I have familiarity. There's the competence because I've been going enough and they correct my form and things like that, and I get better and better at the exercises, even if I'm not lifting the most weight or burning the most calories. I have competence. I know what I'm doing, so my mind can rest easy. And the third one, which is the hardest one to get, is that I'm not going to the gym to be someone else. I'm going because I just want to go 3 days a week to take care of my physical and my mental health. And so just by being in the class, I'm able to experience confidence in that context. Okay, maybe you don't care about the gym, little bunny. Now we're going to translate this to any other context because the formula stays the same. What's another context? Can you think of one, little bunny? We'll do a generic one. Think of a place, a setting, an activity maybe, where you want confidence. It can be as simple as going to Subway and ordering a sandwich. Isn't that so intimidating? You get to the front there if you don't have experience ordering before, and they're just like, what do you want? And it's like, well, there's so much stuff here. What do you mean, what do I want? And they're like, well, what bread do you want? And it's like, what bread do you have? What does that even mean? So let's take this context. Do you want to be confident ordering food? So let's take Subway. The first time you go, you're going to experience fear if you're not used to ordering food from someone. So thinking about our 3 talents is the solution to psych yourself up and just have this confidence right away. Or is the solution to just say, you know what? This is going to be scary. Remember Maria from The Sound of Music? She's at the cusp of adventure. She's always wanted it. Then why is she so scared if she's always wanted this? Well, you just got to be brave because the first one's going to be the hardest and then it's going to get easier from here. So you go for the first time. You're not familiar with the place. But the second time you go, and the third time you go, and the fourth time you go, you're going to get more familiar. You're going to know what breads they have. You're going to make it to the next question, which is what cheese do you want? And oh my God, there's the same problem. What do you mean, what kind of cheese? And you say, what kind of cheese? And they rattle off a bunch of cheeses you've never heard of. So don't worry, little bunny. You're going to get through this. Are you scared already? Well, what's the first one? So there's familiarity. You're just going to do it over and over and over again. The second is going to be competence. Even if you order the same sandwich every single time, each time you do it, you're going to know what it means. You're going to know that they're going to ask you to toast it. Is this a totally absurd example that I'm giving you, little bunny? But you're going to get better and better at ordering a sandwich at Subway. And you'll get more and more confident as long as you have that third one. What is that third one, little bunny? You got to be who you want to be. Well, guess what? I have a bit of an idea of who you want to be, little bunny. I have a very, very strong feeling that you want to be a friendly person, that you want to spread joy, that you want to make the world a little bit better everywhere you go. So you're going to, when you order, Just share a little happiness with the person who's making the sandwich. You're going to smile. You're going to say thank you. You're going to keep it cheery. You're going to try and make this person happy as they're going about their day, making their 5,000th sandwich. But you'll make them smile because you're a wonderful, wonderful little bunny. And once you have those three things, this will be your 20th time you've ordered your sandwich. You're going to go there. You're going to know exactly what they're going to ask you. You're going to say it with confidence because you're competent at ordering this sandwich. And you're going to be who you want to be. And you'll make their day just a little bit brighter. A word of caution now. This confidence that you're developing is contained within each context. So, if you become confident at the gym, that does not mean you're now confident ordering at Subway. And if you get confident ordering at Subway, that does not mean you're confident talking on a date, for instance. You really need to know, what do you want to be confident in? And you have to go straight towards that. If you want to be confident singing on stage, you got to work on being confident singing on stage. It's not going to transfer around to everything in your life, okay? But the good news is once you do it once, you know that you can do it. You know that you can develop this confidence. And it's the same formula for each one. Let me give you a little example from my life. In episode 7 of this podcast, it's a super long episode. It's called, what is it called, Little Bunny? Starting the Next Chapter. It's a really wonderful episode. And I talk a little bit about how I did social dancing as a kind of antidepressant and cure for social anxiety, or just to give me some life. And it's a really, really wonderful activity that I hope you do. And you can listen to the episode if you want to know more about what kind of dancing I did. But social dancing, there's all kinds of different styles. And I did this first style. And of course, I showed up to the first dance and I sat in the corner, lonely and scared, for 2 hours, and then went home without doing anything because I was not familiar with the place. I had zero competence, and I wasn't who I wanted to be because I was not in a place in my life where I was the person that you know me as right now. But I went back and I took the lessons, and little by little, because I went back and back and back, I became familiar. And because I took the lessons and the lessons and the lessons, I became competent. And because the dancing was a little antidepressant for me, a little way to socialize and feel fulfilled, to find some joy in life, even though I was in the most horrible down period of my life, because I kept going and I did the dancing, I became who I wanted to be. The dancing helped me be who I wanted to be, and that's why I became confident doing that dancing. And then when I moved cities and I decided to try a different type of dancing, well, guess what? The confidence kind of disappears because suddenly you're not familiar anymore. Suddenly you're not competent because it's a different aesthetic, it's a different language, it's different moves. And each dance makes you kind of a different person. And so I wasn't the right person for the dance yet. So by doing the dance and going back and practicing, finding what I could discover in myself with this new style of dance, again, I became very, very confident. And so it continues out. It's like, oh, what's this new kind of dance? I want to discover this other part of myself. I go, zero confidence, but I know how to build it because there's the 3 talents, and then there's this super spell at the end that you get. What are the 3 talents, little bunny? Say it with me. It is familiarity, competence, and being who you want to be. And I promise this is the magic formula. You will develop confidence at the end. So I have a little poem for you about this very thing. We're going to do some quick announcements first. And I just realized I forgot to give you your shortcut confidence. So, okay, we'll do a quick mini boost of confidence, a quick way to cheat. We're going to take a breath together. And as you breathe in, I want you to think of someone that you admire as being confident. They can even be a fictional character. How about it's even me? I want you to breathe in and just imagine yourself becoming me, breathing in my energy. It's like you're doing an impression of me, let's say. You want to show someone else what it is like to be me, and you're just going to imagine it. So you're going to breathe in with me. We'll do it a couple times. Here's the first one. Ready? Do you feel like me a little bit? We're going to do it one more time. We're going to do it 2 more times. Here we go. Ready? And the third time, you're going to hold it and you're going to let it stay. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Do you feel me? Do you feel me? As we exhale, just slowly, you're going to stay with my confidence and my energy. Do you feel me, little bunny? I'm a part of you now. I'm always a part of you. So here's your little mini cheating boost of confidence. Now, announcements and poem. The locked audio this week on Patreon is me rambling for 90 minutes. It's meant to keep you company while you're doing some work or some cleaning, or you just don't want to be alone. Pop it on. I'll be there with you for an hour and a half. The locked audio for next week is going to be maybe the spiciest one I've ever done. So I have to get myself in the right headspace for that. It's going to be very, very dominant. And as always, everything I do here is from a place of complete and total honesty. So I really have to find it within me. It's there, but the challenge is not letting it take control and get out of hand, because then I will not be who I want to be. Anyway, that's going to be very spicy. Remember, Patreon is 18 and up. What else? TikTok, big week this week, I suppose. Couple viral videos, lots of new followers. If you only follow me on TikTok, please follow me on Instagram and subscribe to this podcast. TikTok will surely ban me someday. So I think that's everything. So let me slow us back down, and I'll read for you the poem I wrote for you today. Once upon a time, a little bunny embarked on a quest to learn the spell of confidence by putting their bravery to the test. The super spell will be yours, I had said, once you max out these 3 special talents: familiarity, competence, and being yourself. Build all of them slowly with balance. And with the fear and self-doubt lurking, the bunny was persistent, patient, hard-working, and day after day, their fear was thwarted. By getting out and getting to it, little bunny was rewarded. Confidence at last, not by hiding and thinking. Confidence well earned by trying and doing. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week, little bunny. I will be back for you next week, and I will be here before I have all these different podcasts. You can find me in all kinds of different places. I do lots of stuff, okay? I'm always here, and I'm always with you, even when you're not listening to me. I love you, I love you, I love you. Bye.